Now, Suranne, let's talk about your new drama, Maryland. You co-created it, and I know that the initial idea, the inspiration, came to you from a dream. Tell us a little bit about it.
So I've been developing like lots of stuff. So, you know, you read something in a newspaper and you squirrel it away, or you hear conversations and you think, oh, I'll take that down. And this was a dream. And I wrote down Sister's House, Double Life, and put it in my kind of like developing box. But I kept thinking about the logistics of a double life has always fascinated me. Like, how do people do it and get away with it? And then, so Anne-Marie, who wrote the show for us, came on board. And so thematically, we shared the same interests about family relationships. And then we went from there. And so the show is about two sisters, and they find a body in the Isle of Man, and it's their mother. And when they get there to repatriate the body, they find that she has another life that they knew nothing about. And
wow.
There we go.
Well, you've got me grabbed already, but let's take a look at what we can expect from this series.
Suranne, you know, I got to see the first episode of this, and I'm just desperate to know what happens next. I mean, we're also, though, used to seeing you playing these very strong-minded characters, like in Gentleman Jack, in Vigil, but Becca, who you play here, she's interesting because she's much less sure of herself, isn't she?
Yeah. I felt like, so after Gentleman Jack, then I did Vigil, and I'm doing Vigil 2 now. When me and Anne-Marie were in the writer's room, I said, I really want to be Becca. I just feel like I want to tell an ordinary woman's story in an extraordinary situation and what that does to her. And I wanted to play second fiddle to a big sister. I don't have a sister, and I wanted that feeling. So, you know, luckily enough, everyone kind of agreed. And I was like, yeah, I want to develop that. Because she's been a carer all her life. She's cared for her husband, she's cared for her mother, she's cared for her sister. And again, we look at kind of what that does to someone who hasn't actually taken a look at themselves. So I loved it, and I love Eve, who's my sister in it, and I loved playing kind of like, her little sister. It was
exploring those sibling dynamics, and also she's quite a high flyer, her big sister, which does make a difference, doesn't it?
So she's left. So she got out of. She went to London. She's a career woman, and Becca looks after her family. So when they come together, we looked at like familial roles, you know, like when you're in a family, you kind of, you put labels on each other, and you sometimes never grow out of that. So it's about that as well, and how they come together and kind of learn to love each other. But she had a better wardrobe than me because she's a high flyer, and I didn't. My jeans were a little bit short and my boots were a bit dodgy.
You wore them well.
There are so many great names in the series, Suranne, like Stockard Channing, who many will know as Rizzo from Greece. How did that collaboration come about?
We do have a casting director, but we also manifested her.
Oh,
so
right.
if I don't sound too mad saying that.
Was she in the box at one point then, the development box?
She was in the development box, and I thought, well, yeah. I mean, there's something about kind of like, so Kathy is a 70-year-old, 70 plus. She's quite rock and roll. It's a bit of a secret. As you know, you've watched the first episode. And we just thought Stockard would be amazing. So we kept saying, when Stockard accepts the role, and then Andy, our casting director, thank you, Andy Pryor, put it to her, and she said yes, and I still can't quite get over it.
So the language you was using was when she accepts the role, before you even...
Yeah, we were.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Also, what I'm loving about this is that, you know, these female characters in their 70s with double lives.
Isn't
I feel
amazing?
like we've never seen that before.
Yeah, and because sometimes like the older characters get forgotten or they're secondary to a story. But, you know, older people are the ones with the most story. They're the ones who live the life. And, yeah, so these two 70-year-old plus and George Costigan, who plays my dad, they're all really fascinating characters. So Anne-Marie did a great job with that as well. Brilliant.
Now, I hear, whilst on location, Suranne, you enjoyed a little dip in the sea.
I did. It was freezing.
I can imagine,
Yes.
But you still enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was so cold. So there's Anne-Marie, the writer. So it was Ireland, it was freezing, and we got in, and it certainly woke you up, Jermaine.
Is this something you always...
We have a cold barrel, me and my husband.
Oh, right.
So we do the cold shower thing. So,
okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't new to us, but that is some kind of cold.
Yeah.
Suranne, I've got a question, so many questions from viewers, but Nikki has asked, will there ever be a new series of Dr. Foster? And there are so many people here at the One Show desperate to know.
So I'm meeting up with Mike Bartlett, who wrote Dr. Foster, but it'll probably be about another project because it's how many years ago is it now? I don't know, but I love that people love it.
Fingers crossed. We've got to talk about the return of submarine drama, Vigil, as well. You said you've been filming again. I mean, what can you tell us? When's it back?
So I'm going back to Scotland tomorrow to film some in Glasgow, and we're filming in Glasgow and Morocco, and then back to Glasgow, but there's no submarines, which I'm thrilled about.
I bet.
Because that was hardcore, and it was in the middle of COVID, so it's all in the skies. That was under the water, and now we're looking up to the skies.
She never stopped this one. Thank you, Suranne. Maryland starts Monday at 9 o'clock on ITV1 for 3 consecutive nights, and you can catch Series 1 of Vigil on iPlayer. Suranne, you're also a huge Little Mermaid fan, apparently.
Where are you finding these kids that want to watch it? Like my son, he's just turned 7. I'm like, do you want to watch Little Mermaid? He's like, no. So I find myself watching it on my own. I'm so excited about this film. I grabbed Melissa back there. I was like, I'm dying to see this film. It just looks so beautiful. I can't wait to see it.
No, it does look good. Not like yourself, Suranne, there's so many people that are really excited about the film.